How do you assess your value? Is it based on what you have or is it based on who you are? And here's the thing, you'll never know who you are until you know whose you are. Let's talk about it. Let's unwrap it. You know how we do it. Let's mix it up. What's going on, family? Hope you're doing well. Listen, we're going to talk about and tackle the topic value you. Yeah, value you. Come on, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Let's start by doing that. Yeah, it's going to be an explosion of inspiration. You're in for a treat. Type value you. Yeah, type that. Value you. Listen, we know how to value what is on us, but do we value the gift that's within us? We know how to value cars and clothes and shoes and shirts and skirts, which in many cases pales in comparison to the real value that is within us. Here's the thing, we'll never value ourselves until we really do a deep dive, until we really get introspective in knowing who it is that we are. We'll always discount ourselves. We'll always allow other people to diminish us. Here's the thing, we'll always talk ourselves out of what we were called to step into. We'll always tell ourselves that we're never good enough, not smart enough, not intelligent enough, don't have enough expertise if we don't value ourselves. I remember one of my homeboys was telling me some time ago that he was dating a particular young lady. And on this particular occasion, he happened to run into the lady after some time had went by. They used to date. He was rather fond of her. And as they crossed paths on a particular occasion, while they were talking, I remember he told me that she said, "I need to apologize to you." I'm like, "Yo, bro, what did she say she need to apologize for?" He was like, "Man, I was just as startled as you were." I didn't even know what she needed to apologize for. I'm looking around like she gonna apologize to me. He said, "I ain't never got no apology from a woman." That's for another conversation, right? He's surprised she needed to apologize. In the conversation, she went on to say, "I need to apologize because I messed things up." Here it is. "I messed things up between us by being insecure." He goes on to remind the young lady, he said, "Hey, you know what? No sweat, no worries, because at the end of the day, only had eyes for you anyway. I just wanted you to see what I saw in you. In other words, I just wanted you to understand that I value you," as he was hoping that she valued herself. Here's what she said. She said, "It was never about you seeing someone else. The issue was," I need you to hear me. "The issue was," she said, "I didn't see my self-worth. And because I didn't see my self-worth, it prevented me from seeing what you saw in me. Isn't that interesting? A lot of people see in us what we don't necessarily see in ourselves. And because here it is, we are blind to our value. We never see what anybody sees in us. And so here's now what we do. We now prevent ourselves. We now stand in our own way. When could it be God is trying to make a way out of no way, but you keep standing in the way? Simply because you let your value get in the way. You have a skewed sense of your value, your self-worth, and your self-identity, which now becomes a stumbling block to you and anybody else associated with you. Isn't it interesting? Young lady said, you weren't the issue, I was. Whew, that's a high level of accountability, isn't it? High level of accountability. To say, I want to say I'm sorry for messing something up simply because of my insecurity. Simply because I had a damaged view of myself, of my self-worth. Wasn't even about who you were looking at. I didn't look at me the way that you looked at me. Oh, I want you to get a clear sense of and a view of you. What if you began to see you the way that God sees you? To where you're more than a conqueror. Family, just type I'm more than that. And you put a fill in the blank on that. I'm more than that, whether that's depression, whether that's low self-esteem, whether that's insecurity, whether that's a skewed value, whether that's a skewed identity, whether what it is, what people said about you, which now in many cases they tried to forecast your future based upon the failures that they encountered. She said the issue was I didn't see my self-worth, which prevented me from seeing what you saw in me. Wish we could bring Marvin Sapp into the room and say he saw the best in me. When everyone else around could only see the worst. And here's the thing, we have adopted everybody else's skewed view, yes, of themselves, but of us. Too many times we don't see the best in ourselves, we see the worst. Simply because people see the worst in us. Listen, what everybody else is doing, why don't you do the opposite of it? I thought you were a trendsetter and a trailblazer rather than a follower. I thought you were somebody who was a history maker and a record breaker and a mover and a world shaker. Not a follower. Here's the thing, a lot of times we can learn some good lessons from people's bad moments. Very transparent, very powerful statement to make. And here's the question to you. How many times have you messed up potential opportunities and good relationships because you didn't think you were good enough? Hear me. Come here. Let me talk to you. How many times have you not gone for the promotion simply because you were comparing yourself to everybody else? You didn't think you were qualified. Simply because you didn't think you were good enough. Here's what you do. Now you settle for just enough. Oh, I want to talk to you today. I want to talk to you. I really want to talk to you. Come on. Can I tell it how I feel it? Can I teach it how I hear it? Too many times You talk yourself out of what God wants you to step into. You don't think you're good enough, so now you settle for just enough. No just enough formed against you shall prosper. Get rid of the sulking and the sinking thinking that keeps you sinking. If only that young lady knew that she was OQP. Come on, family, type OQP in the chat. That she was only a quality person. That here it is, she was surrounded by an only quality person. And here's the thing, as I'm trying to keep it 100 with you, here's where I realize no one of us is 100% secure in ourselves. None of us. Yeah, I know you. I know you pray and you slay, and you turn heads each and every single way. I know it. I know you. The cats meow and the dogs bow wow. But you deal with some insecurities. Yeah, same here. We all do. Many of us don't want to admit to it, though. We all have personal insecurities. I remember, listen, I remember when. I remember. I remember growing up as a kid. Much of everybody on my mom's side is light skinned. My father's brown skin. So whatever complexion you want to categorize me as. We ain't light skinned. Or as y'all say, light skinned did. We're gonna correct that. Right? So my parents are divorced. My father's not in the house. It's me. Mother, brother, other side of the family on my mom's side. Relatively, majority of them are light skinned. So to a certain degree, I literally felt like the black sheep of the family. Why? Because in many cases, I was dealing with a color complex. I saw in many cases how being lighter made you be treated righter. Yeah. I'm gonna take a little bit of English permission on that one because I'm rhyming at this time, and right. But I saw how they were treated better simply because they were lighter, and so as a result of it, it placed a mark on my mindset that here's what I had to do. I had to grow out of that. I had to, here it is, I had to see the value, not just on me, but within me. When in many cases, in the purview of America's eyes, my skin was a sin. But I had to adopt the whole aspect that, listen, black don't crack, brown won't let you down, beige don't age, tan got a plan, and yeah, even light will do you right. I had to see the value in me versus the complexion on me. And then when I began to do that, here's what I did. I began to love myself. And here it is, love the skin I was in. Loving the skin I'm in. Come on, family, type I love me. I love me. Here's what I understand. Some people never grow to the level of loving themselves. Due to skin complexion, due to myriad of other issues, personal, idiosyncratic, family-wise, what other people said about them. Here's what you got to do. You got to love you. If God wanted you to be even a hue lighter, he would have made you be that. You are to be who you are. And you have to embrace your value if you're going to go far. We all got personal insecurities. But here's the thing, it becomes an impenetrable force when we allow ourselves to get in the way of our own progress. How do you love yourself? How do you get secure in yourself? You got to grow to love yourself. You have to affirm yourself. You have to tell yourself that you're special. You have to tell yourself that you're worthy of love. And here's the thing, we want to be worthy of love from other people, but do we want to be worthy of self-love that first begins within? Do you see yourself as worthy of self-love, of you loving you? Most courageous, revolutionary, curse-breaking thing that you could possibly do is love you despite what you've been through. That's courageous. There are some interpersonal places that you and I have to not just go through, but grow through in every way, in each and every single day. Here's the thing about security. Being secure is in who you are is not just an episodic event. It's not just because you threw a dress on. It's not just because you got your hair done, nail done, everything did it, you fancy, huh? It's not just because you got your hair whipped, dipped, fried, dyed, laid to the side. Not just because you got your Louis Vuitton account. Are you accountable? Not just because of your red bottom heels, but do you embrace the fact that here it is, a Benz couldn't buy you, a house couldn't buy you, a Lamborghini couldn't buy you, money couldn't buy you, a diamond couldn't buy you. It was not even red bottom heels. It was the blood of Jesus that bought you, taught you, brought you from a mighty long way. Right? It's a daily process to love yourself, to unravel and to unwrap all the things that you had been through. Because loving yourself and knowing your worth is not episodic. It's a process. It's a process for progress. Family type progress. Process for progress. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Family, as you're here, getting the message clear, I encourage you to become a member of our YouTube channel. We have some tiers, VIP, royalty, OQP. Drop a super chat, a super sticker. We're having a super conversation. My friend was right to ask the question. He asked the young lady the question after she told him, you know, I don't think I was worthy enough. I didn't think I had enough value. I didn't see what you saw in me. My self-worth wasn't where it should have been. And here's how he responded. He responded, who better than you? Those 4 words. He says to the young lady, who better than you? He loved her. Very, very highly interested in her. But the relationship disintegrated due to personal idiosyncratic insecurity. But he asked her this question, who better than you? And here's the thing, only you can give the right response in your words and in your deeds. Yeah, you got it going on. Yeah, you fine. Give yourself a high five. But here's the question. You're fine, but what else? Because here's the thing. You cheapen you if you only relegate you to that which is on the outside of you. You cheapen you if you only relegate you to, here it is, to just your assets. but not you recognizing that you are an asset. You cheapen you if you only focus on your hairdo, but not the mindset to make it do what it do. Am I talking to you? You cheapen you if you only focus on just what your nails look like, but not you putting your hands to the plow to actually stir up your gift and lift your life to a greater degree. You cheapen you if you only focus on what's on you, but not what's within you. You have to value you. Got to teach people how to treat you or they will mistreat you. If you don't learn how to love yourself, hear me, there are some people out there who are going to show you how to hate yourself. Let me say it twice because it's oh so nice. If you don't learn how to love you, there are people who are not only hating on you, but waiting for you to hate you. Beauty is only skin deep. Do you know why beauty is only skin deep? Because so many people are mentally shallow. The depth that they can possibly ever go is simply what they see with their eyes, but not with their head and their heart to be able to strategize. Besides your 26, besides your 36, 24, 36, voluptuous, splendiferous physique, what else do you possess? Listen, because if you don't know what you possess, you'll allow people to trespass and transgress. I got a special message for you. I want you to stick and stay. But I want you to know that more is on the way. On the other side of this break, there's more breakthrough. After these messages, you know I'm coming right back. Are you an author or aspiring author interested in building your book? Do you want to develop as a speaker and communicator? Listen, check out my array of solutions and systems like my bestseller book blueprint and successful speaker strategies. Explore my tailor-made programs designed to nurture your purpose and grow your greatness. In order to increase your ideas, your impact, and your influence, visit us today at theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. Yes, y'all. And we don't stop. Heed to those resources that you heard. Let's get back to the word. Pretty face means nothing if you have an ugly attitude. In essence, what does it do? It just makes you ugly altogether. Your attitude and your personality should be like a fragrance and not an odor. Here's the thing. Your magnanimous pulchritude, your magnanimous physique can get you in the door. But here's the thing. Only your character and your integrity will keep you in the door. It'll keep you in the building. And here's what we have done. Too often we adopt a skewed view of beauty. We've juxtaposed it in the framework of self-worth. Where does it come from? It often is adopted, and it comes from a skewed, westernized standard view of the definitive measures of sexiness and success. Come on. That's why people go to great lengths for augmentation, because they believe it's going to augment their personality. They go to great lengths to try to look like somebody else, but they never embrace the value of who it is that they are. They go to so many great lengths to allow life to strip them of their character development, of their identity, of their relatability, of their authenticity, of their mentality, of their particular identity. Why? Because nobody ever taught them how to value themselves. Right? Here's what we did. We believed whatever we put on was going to make us feel more valuable. Why? Because we put it into the lens and into the eyes of other people. That here's the thing. If they see us as having value, surely we must. But what do you do when there are people in your life who don't come into your life to heal you and to help you, but they come into your life to hurt you and to harm you, to discount you? Because here's the thing. If you lose the car, if you lose the clothes, if you outgrow the clothes, if you outgrow the shoes, and the money that you have now does not match with the money that you had then, how do you feel about you? Is your value only tied to that which you see as valuable? Or here's the thing. Do you see yourself as valuable? Because here's the thing. When you value you, you get to this place to where you say, it's not what I'm wearing, it's who I'm becoming. Hear me. Is not what you're wearing, is who you're becoming that makes the difference. Not what you're driving, is what's driving you. Not about the watch on your wrist. I want to know, do you know what time it is? Not about the particular glasses that you're wearing. Here's the question. Do you have a vision? Not about who you have on your arm. It's about the love that resides in your heart. More than your body, it's about your mentality. And here's the thing. Many times our body, our identity is in our body. Let me talk to somebody. But your identity is not connected to your mentality. So here's the thing. When your beauty fades, when your body don't look like what it did from years ago, how we feel about ourselves goes as well. Because we never grew into the reality of who it is that we are. Here's what we did. We allowed the stereotypical, societal, standardized view to warp the view of who it is that we are. And this is what I need you to do. Stop comparing yourself to what you see on TV. Stop comparing yourself to who you see on the magazine screens. In the magazines. Stop comparing yourself to who you see on your phone screen, to an Instagram model. What are you doing to be a role model? Isn't it interesting? Sometimes the people who we have conjectured to be those who hold the highest standard of beauty often feel the most ugly. Ain't even about how many likes you get. Do you really love you? You don't need 2,000 likes. You love you with 2 of them. You love you with none of them. Why? Because having somebody doesn't quantify you being somebody. Am I following the trend or am I setting the trend? I need you to understand this. Come on, every queen, drop a crown in the chat. The only time I want you to drop your crown is in the chat. Do you hear me? It's looking real colorful in here. Drop a super chat in the chat. Drop a super sticker. It's a real conversation because we need real implementation. Your VIP. Yes, you're a very important person, but you have a very important purpose. Come on, drop your crown in the chat. Only time I want you to drop your crown is in the chat. Come on, wear your crown. Wipe your frown and wear your crown. VIP, very important person, very important purpose. Your OQP, only quality people, because you're only quality person. HTA, hard truth alert. It's getting ready to get spicy in here. Jalapeno, cayenne, banana pepper, spicy. Sound kind of good right about now, but it's a little bit too much for my palate. Your natural beauty is greater than cosmetic enhancements. Your natural beauty and who it is that you are is greater than what other people want you to become. Greater than all the catcalls and the whistles and the hollers. Because many of that just falls on deaf ears anyway. What do they call that? Sweet nothings. You focused on the first word. I need you to focus on the second one. Nothing. You're going to drive yourself crazy trying to keep up with every celebrity. Here's the thing. You're driving yourself crazy trying to keep up with a celebrity who's battling their own insecurities. So here's the thing. You're dealing with your own insecurities and you've adopted their insecurities. Your worth is not based on the size of your nose. Your worth is not based on the size of your gluteus maximus, of your hips, of your breast, lips, legs, and thighs that just pop eyes. Yeah, pop eyes. Pop eyes. What you got to recognize is here it is. My value doesn't reside on the outside. My value resides on the inside. And here's the thing. When you only pride your value on specifically what's on the outside, it's going to send sonar to men out there. HTA, hard truth alert right here. You can't expect a man not to have an appetite if all you want to show off is meat. Oh, y'all don't like that one. Yeah. Because you've embodied the philosophy of what social media is trying to imbibe into your life, that less is more. Simply because we have a generation that is trading respect for attention. Trading self-respect for attention. Trading self-love for likes. You don't like it, but it's a hard HTA conversation. Hard truth alert. Hard truth conversation. And here's the thing. A new generation of girls is now adopting that same philosophy. Where they believe they got to be a sexy red versus smart with green flags. Do you hear me? Versus embracing red flags. Here's what it is. Worth ain't about the size of your nose. It's the fact that each day you're able to be alive, to be able to breathe the pristine air through your nose, through your lungs. In Genesis, God created the world, and when he created the world, he spoke it into existence. However, here it is, when he created humanity, this is what he did. He rolled up his sleeves, dipped his hand into the clay, into the dust of the ground, and breathed life into the vessel he created. You got to understand this, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Embrace your strengths. Love your flaws. Yeah, through the stretch marks. Through the fact that, yeah, you had a C-section. You had a cesarean section. And so guess what? Your body may not necessarily resemble what it used to, but you got to love you through the imperfections that seemingly have been deemed on you. You're perfectly imperfect. Stop holding yourself to a skewed standard. And here it is. Start holding yourself. Start holding yourself with love. Come on, family. Type embrace you. Embrace you. Embrace the new space that you're in. Embrace the new you that God has fashioned for you. Embrace your beauty. Embrace your identity. Because here's the thing. You're a pretty ugly person if only your beauty is on the outside. Oh, you don't like that. If your beauty only begins from the outside in versus from the inside out, you're going to have a lot of doubt about who it is that you are. Come on, queen. Just type queen. Queen. Quintessentially unique. Let me stop at the you. You for unique. You are unique. You don't have to be like anybody else. You don't have to sound like anybody else. You don't have to look like anybody else. You don't have to dress like anybody else. You don't have to walk like anybody else. You don't have to wear your hair like anybody else. Because if everybody looks like everybody, where's the uniqueness? Can you stand out to a man? Can you stand out to you? Here it is. Can you compliment a sister who's different than you? And really genuinely mean it. And not see her as a threat. Not see her as somebody who's going to steal your husband, who's going to take your man, who's going to thwart your plan. Can't do it if God's hand is on your life. Come on. A queen stands boldly in her confidence. She stands boldly and embraces her identity uniquely. Why? Because she values herself. What do you value that's within you rather than what's on the outside of you? Do you value your mentality more than your body? Do you value your identity? Do you value your character and not just your car, your clothes? Do you value your mindset and your skill set? Here's what I'm asking you. Do you value what the eye can't see? That's where your real riches are. That's where your real value and wealth is. Family, just type, I'm priceless. Come on, type, I'm priceless. Value speaks to that which is priceless. And here it is. Value speaks to supply and demand. When there's a large supply, the value goes down. When there's a limited supply, the laws of supply and demand, the value goes up. That's why they call it limited edition purses, limited edition sneakers. Because here it is. It turns up the temperature on the craving of the consumer. Oh, I got to get that because I'm going to be one of the only ones to have this item. Supply and demand. It's a whole lot of 7-Elevens out here. Very few Ruth's Chris. It's a whole lot of thrift stores out here. Very few Saks Fifth Avenues. Oh, I can tell. I can tell by what you're wearing. Yeah, you a Saks Fifth Avenue shopper. Supply and demand. Are you one of those individuals in a world of quantity that you're personal quality? It's a limited supply of me. You can't find me everywhere. Can't find me everywhere. Many cases, can't find me in the daytime with a flashlight. I'm rare. I'm unique. Here's the thing. I need you to be aware. I need you to be aware that you're rare. Come on, family. I need you to hit the thumbs up button on this. Who said your hair was too nappy or too kinky? No. The only naps and the kinks are the ones you got in your mind. You got a relaxer, but you still uptight. Lord have mercy. Here it is. World is clamoring for lip injections. But you let somebody tell you that your lips are too big. Here it is. Your lips are big enough so that you can open up your big mouth and say, Lord, I thank you for being alive. I thank you that I got a testimony. I can speak truth to power, to defend the least, the last, the lost, the left out, the overlooked, the underserved, and the underrepresented. You got to realize this. No, you're not too dark or too light. God made you just right. Don't allow negative opinions and self-doubt to occupy your mind and detract from your level of beauty, from your self-identity, from your true beauty. Here's what you got to do. You got to look within the lens of the soul of your soul. Got to look within the lens and love yourself until the hurt is replaced with healing. You got to affirm yourself until you experience God's anointing. At the end of the day, what is in you is far greater than what is on you. I know you're fine, but are you worth somebody's time? Because here's the thing. What occurs without character? What is a body if there's no brain? What is a great red box and gold bow if you unwrap it and there's no gift inside? What do you bring to the table other than an appetite? Is it substance or is it just a pretty smile? Is it victorious faith or just a voluptuous physique? What do I bring that the eyes can't see so that the mind can discern? Are your ears receptive? Need you to understand this. Just because somebody is attractive doesn't mean you're compatible. Here's what you got to learn. You got to learn how to hear what in many cases people are not saying. You got to learn how to discern What in many cases, what was never spoken over your life that now you have to affirm your own life? Here it is, because you were not embraced and told that you were a princess as that little girl, because you were not embraced and told that you were a queen, that you're going to grow up to be a beautiful young queen. That now here it is, we search for the validation and we seek the validation from everybody else. Because we were not fashioned and formed by being one of daddy's little girls. By being mama's, in many cases, prized reflection. Sometimes you don't get along with her because you just like her. Because of all of those things that we have gone through, as Dr. Sigmund Freud says, we are in adulthood, what we have experienced in childhood. We can never be compatible to anybody else. We can never be suitable for anybody else simply because we're not compatible to ourselves, much less suitable for anybody else. Becoming the right one for the right one first begins with you being right for you. And as a result of it, because we did not get affirmed, because we were not called, because you were not called that princess, much less that queen, because you were not called a darling daughter, because you were not necessarily elevated and uplifted. And somebody said, listen, it's not the childhood trauma that I'm dealing with adulthood trauma. For some of us, your childhood was fine. It's the myriad of situations and relationships and circumstances that you're dealing with in your adulthood that in many cases become so ravaging, so horrific, horrendous and haunting, that now you place curves over character. You'll place a wallet over wisdom. Because here's the thing, when the value in you is skewed, everything else that flows from outside of you, flows from within you, will be skewed as well. What flows to you is a direct result of what flows from you. And I need you to understand this. You're more than what you have on the outside. You got to look within. Here it is. Scripture says you have a treasure within an earthen vessel. Got a great treasure of strength. You got a great treasure of beauty on the inside of you. It's time for not people. It's time for you as a person to see the true value of you. Because here's the thing. When you show up for you, you'll be able to show up in any environment. Not feeling less than, not feeling insecure as a result. Here's the thing. You're a blessing to somebody. And if they don't recognize it, that's their loss. I need you to see you. I need you to value you. Come on, family, type value you. Come on, type value you. Gotta value you. Listen, family, I want you to sow into your value. I want you to sow into your value. Yeah. Come on, family, type no fear here. I just want you to type that. Type no fear here. A lack of value, a lack of identity, insecurity, the root of it is fear. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. Fear is a spirit. But of love and of power and of a sound mind. If I can negate fear, I'll move in love. Love for self, love for others. I'll walk in power. That's the authority. And then here it is, I'll have a sound mind. I'll understand that my mental health is my wealth. Value. Notice I didn't say your body, I didn't say your heels, I didn't say your assets, I didn't say your hair, I didn't say your makeup. I'm talking about your mindset. Scripture says this, as long as the earth remains, there will be seed time and harvest. And here's the thing, seed time, harvest time, time is a part of the process. A lot of us give up too quickly because of time. Well, I ain't got the time. I'm running out of time. You know why you don't? Because you keep saying it. You don't plant seeds in the ground today and go outside tomorrow to expect it to be a whole garden tomorrow. But here's the thing, just because there's not a whole garden tomorrow, it doesn't mean the seeds aren't growing. It doesn't mean the seeds aren't working. Why dig it up? Why dig up your self-esteem? Why dig up all the work that you had to put in through the years? Not realizing they that sow in tears will reap in joy. Hear me, your seed will blossom in time. The seed will meet your need in timing. And here's the thing, sometimes the seed is not meeting your need because here's the thing, the seed is waiting for you to grow up. You waiting for the seed to grow. The seed is waiting for you to grow. Come on. You're not waiting for God. He waiting on you. Time doesn't wait for the perfect you. Why are you waiting for the perfect time? Family, just type now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. Seed time. I want you to sow a seed right now into your value. I want you to sow a seed into the value that God has given you. I want you to sow a seed into your greatness. I want you to sow a seed into what you're expecting God to do in your life. As you're saying, listen, I'm partnering with God. I'm co-laboring with God. I'm not just expecting God to do it for me. God don't just do things for you. God does things through you and with you. He empowers you. Now I want you to empower you. I want you to sow a seed, and maybe you're naming your seed value. Maybe you're naming your seed identity. Maybe you're naming your seed God's favor. Maybe you're naming your seed open doors, new opportunities. Maybe you're naming your seed love. Maybe you're naming your seed true beauty. Right? Because you've had a false sense of beauty that has perpetuated and pervaded your own mindset. So I want you to sow into the new you. The new you. The valued you. The loved you. The embraced you. The queen you. I want you to sow into, that love from within. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I generally wait till the end of the show, but I'm going to do that for show. So nice I got to do it twice. Love is coming to you. It's flowing to you. It's for you. It's happening to you. It's within you. If you become it, you'll attract it. From the inside out. Once you sow, you can sow as a super chat. You can sow via super sticker. There's some links to where you can sow via Cash App, $ Access Identity, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at Gmail, PayPal. The links are in the chat. Links are also in the description as well. We've been having a super conversation. You can sow via super chat, super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. All of you who have become members. Shout out to the members on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you. Thank you for sowing. Thank you for growing with us. Thank you for your super chats, for your super stickers. Thank you for your electronic seeds that you've sown. I'm believing, I'm joining my faith with yours for 30, 60, and 100 fold. Because it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen for you. Why? Because it's happening within you. Within you. Yes, it is. Family, this isn't just a community. This is a launching pad for you to soar higher into greater success, purpose. And I don't want you to just stop here. We go even further and farther beyond here. If you're ready to board the flight to your future, once you soar with us, go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I hope you got something from this today. In the Mix is out of time. But family, you know I'm not out of truth. So I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. We do that each and every single Monday through Friday for In the Mix. Head over to the YouTube side. Make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. As you are here on the YouTube side, make sure that you thumbs up. Come on, thumbs up the video. I would appreciate it. It's been an explosion of inspiration. Hit the subscribe button on the channel. I don't want you to be just a ghost follower. Follow me on social media at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, please reach out to me. If you're looking for a dynamic speaker, look no further. Invite me. I'd love to come and empower you at your church, your conference, your community center, your organization, your session. Let's make some progression. Reach out to me, info@eddieconnor.com. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother from another mother. Family has been fun, but you know a brother got to run. But I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and love. Keep soaring higher. Let's soar beyond my YouTube channel. If you want something that goes beyond here, you're in for a treat. I have a private mentorship group where I coach, where I teach, and I provide live Q&A insight in our interactive breakout sessions. It's where I challenge you with innovative exercises to develop your skill set. And I provide feedback to foster your growth. We break it all down to build you up in our private Zoom room as we focus on transformative topics with accountability partners who really desire to grow their greatness by soaring into success and greater purpose. Come on, soar to new heights with us in our Eagles Academy. Get your wings to win, and let's soar into more at theeaglesacademy.com.